Armies are considered an important part of a country and its security. Every year, a large fortune is allocated out of the budget for fighting battles. Countries take special initiatives to strengthen themselves militarily. If we try to compare the armies of the different nations to gauge the countries with strongest armies, it would probably not be possible to do so hypothetically. However, without leading to a bloodbath, we can have a fair idea about the military strengths of countries by taking into account the arsenal in their possession, advanced technologies implemented, training, power and number of allies, size of the army, budget allocated, etc. While it is a rather subjective issue, several organizations, such as Business Insider, conduct their own studies to rank the military powers. In this article, we'll look at the top 10 countries with the best military in the world and explore what makes them so powerful. We'll also discuss the factors that contribute to military strength and why it's so important for countries to have a strong military. If you are ready, we will start. Italy has the 10th most powerful military in the world. Global Firepower ranked Italy in the top 10 in areas including its aerial tanker aircraft fleet, total helicopter strength, attack aircraft strength, and its total number of aircraft carrier warships. It said Italy had 404 helicopters, including 58 attack helicopters and 2 aircraft carrier warships as of January 2023. A global data report earlier this year forecasted an increase in spending from $31.6 billion to $38.5 billion between 2024 and 2028. France has the 9th most powerful military in the world. France is another country to follow Germany's lead because, in 2013, it took the decision to effectively freeze its military spending and cut down on the defense jobs by 10% to save money for technologically advanced equipment. Over 220,000 regular force combines with reservists to form a force of about 751,000. It has just over 1,004 aircraft, along with 9,000 ground vehicles. Even if these do not make France a formidable army, its position in the EU and UN, a total 290 nuclear weapons, and significant deployments strengthen the country. Japan has the 8th most powerful military in the world. Japan still has a powerful military despite having renounced the ability to wage war in the aftermath of its defeat in World War II. Japan's constitution heavily limits its ability to use force overseas, and its military is accordingly known as the Japan Self-Defense Forces. Global Firepower ranked Japan in the top 10 for its aircraft fleet strength, total helicopter strength, and armored fighting vehicle fleet strength. An island nation, Japan was the highest-ranked nation when it came to major ports, and with 4 helicopter carriers, it ranked second in that category, as well as second when it came to the strength of its special mission aircraft fleet. In recent decades, Japan has only invested around 1% of its GDP in defense, but more recently began to change its posture. In 2016, Japan loosened restrictions on how its military could be used to allow limited participation in overseas missions deemed to be collective self-defense. The move was driven by its near neighbors North Korea and China both appearing more belligerent. More recently, it announced plans to hike defense spending to 2% of GDP, which would give it the world's 3rd largest defense budget. Global Firepower said that Japan had more than 1,400 military aircraft and more than 111,000 vehicles as of January 2023, with a power index score of 0.1711. Pakistan rose from 9th overall in 2022 to 7th on the list in 2023. While Pakistan had more than 3,700 tanks, 1,400 military aircraft, 9 submarines, and 654,000 active military personnel as of January 2023, Global Firepower said its rise was also due to this year's rankings having a bigger focus on natural resources and shared borders. Pakistan shares borders with Afghanistan, China, India, and Iran, putting it in a tense part of the world. Global Firepower ranked Pakistan in the top 10 in areas including its total available population fit for military service, total available active military manpower, and total aircraft fleet strength, with a power index score of 0.1694. South Korea has the sixth most powerful military in the world. South Korea shares its border with North Korea, which has an extremely powerful military at its disposal, and hence is a constant threat to South Korea. But its offensive neighbor is not its only problem. To meet the increasing armament of China and Japan, South Korea has been increasing its defense expenditure, which is now $42 billion. It maintains a large army of over 640,000 active personnel and 2,900,000 additional personnel in the reserve, alongside the sixth largest air force with 1,602 aircraft, as well as a small 166 ships. The country has about 15,000 land weapons, including rocket systems, as well as 2,331 tanks. It routinely participates in military training with the U.S. The United Kingdom has the fifth most powerful military in the world. The United Kingdom also has a plan of reducing the size of the armed forces by 20% between 2010 and 2018, and applies smaller cuts to the Royal Navy and RAF. The defense budget of the UK currently stands at $42 billion. It has a regular force of only about 205,000, along with a small air force of 1,602 aircraft and an even smaller navy of 157 ships. However, the Army of the UK is still a powerful one, with its superior training equipment and its 160 nuclear weapons being the main strengths. The Royal Navy is planning to put to service HMS Queen Elizabeth in 2020. It is an aircraft carrier, planned to carry 40 F-35B Joint Strike Fighters around the world. India has the fourth most powerful military in the world. India has put its massive population to use and built an army of a sizable 3.5 million, including 1,450,000 active military. The huge size of the Indian military is one of the reasons why it has always remained among the countries with strongest armies in the world. The man force of the army is complemented by almost 16,000 land vehicles, which include 4,161 tanks, as well as 2,210 aircraft alongside nuclear weapons. Its ballistic missiles can hit all of Pakistan or most of China. India allocates a substantial $54.2 billion to its defense sector. This significant financial commitment reflects the nation's focus on maintaining a strong and well-equipped military. China has the third most powerful military in the world. China's defense budget officially stands at $230 billion, and in a relentless drive to invest massively in defense, there is likely to be an increase of budget by 12.2%. It has a formidable size of army, with 2,285,000 active frontline personnel and a further 2,300,000 reservists, making it the world's largest land force, along with nearly 25,000 land vehicles. It has another 3,166 aircraft on its air force. China is in possession of about 300 nuclear weapons, alongside 180 different methods of their deployment. China recently acquired sensitive information about the new F-35 and is noted for successfully stealing sensitive military technology. It is rightly among the top 3 strongest armies. Russia has the second most powerful military in the world. Russia's defense budget stands at $82 billion and is expected to grow 44% more in the next 3 years. In fact, the military spending of Kremlin has increased by about a third since 2008, especially since Vladimir Putin took hold of Russia in 2000. The Russian army has shown substantial growth since the collapse of the Soviet Union 2 decades ago. It has 830,000 active frontline personnel and almost 2.5 million on the reserve force. Though the soldiers receive mediocre training, the man force is backed by 12,566 tanks, making Russia the largest tank force in the world, though it is aging like the other equipment. The country is the world's leader, with almost 8,500 active nuclear warheads. The United States has the most powerful military in the world by a significant margin. The United States spends a whopping $761 billion on the military, more than the other 9 countries' budgets combined. It maintains a remarkably large army composed of over 1.4 million soldiers and a further 800,000 reservists. To complement the active ground force comprising well-trained men and women in uniforms, its biggest advantage is that it is the world leader in aircraft production, with a fleet of 11 aircraft carriers, while the carriers operated by the world together sum up to 20. The U.S. implements cutting-edge technology like the Navy's new railgun, and the country also has 7,500 nuclear warheads at its disposal. No wonder it is #1 military force since WW2. Thus, the defense budget, manpower, Air Force, Navy, etc. together help to determine the most powerful military forces in the world. The countries with strongest armies are the nations that are considered the biggest threats to global security, and these are the nations that also become the heavyweights in global affairs. While the U.S. has projected a formidable military force for a long time, Russia has risen well, and China too, a force to reckon with. These countries clinch the top 3 positions. The strategies of other countries may gradually make them recognizable forces in the world in a not-so-distant future. Today's program has come to an end. If you like the video, click the like button. If you have any thoughts and comments, you can leave them in the comments. If you have not subscribed to our channel, be sure to subscribe and do not forget to press the bell so that you will not miss our new videos. Goodbye, friends.